Good morning, YouTube. We got another live trade example. I wanted to follow up on a couple of our new funded Top Step accounts as we're just starting a couple of these tiny guys here. We have a moving average setup as per the video. So on the YouTube video, we talked a lot about the moving average ride system and how to use them. If you didn't see that video, check us out. But I want to put it into play here in a live trade action. So we had a fresh low reversal, and the market loves to set fresh lows before it sets fresh highs in sequence, right? So the price action that we have leading here, we had some lows, we had some highs, then it had a three down, 1, 2, 3. Market comes in threes on the scam, does the fresh low, and then reverses off a moving average. And I want to target back up towards equal highs, right? So on the micros right now, as we're building the tiny accounts, but this is a really good example of how the moving average loop systems will work. So despite this ugly thing right here on a 3 down, we do have a 10 SMA reversal attempt. So the price action pops back up, holds 10 SMA, came up. You see the algo just push into that 100 EMA. Breakdown range now, it's going to come down. It's going to loop that 10 SMA. Then it's going to squeeze reverse back up to 20,747.50, probably 20,750. Nice half whole psychological number, but we always get out a little early. So we are just starting this MNQ trade. So we want to go real slow, slowly average into the correct places. And what we're going to see slowly build into this right here is the loop. So after the 100 EMA rejection comes in, hopefully loops a little farther. I got some more fishing orders. Obviously, we're already in for only 5 micros, and some of our covers up here will net us right around about $150 or something like that. Just base hits as we start the morning with the first trade. I don't want to go too overzealous, but as we get into it, we're just going to watch that 10 SMA loop. It's going to fake the rejection off the 100 EMA, come back down, base of support. Now, after we found a support, we found a fresh low algo, we found a fresh high out of sequence, it's got to come back down, and we confirm a higher low on trend before it goes up. Regular price action trading. And then the moving average, as per our YouTube video, we recover, let it run, hits an opposing force, 100 EMA, pulls back, creates a mini loop, and off she goes to target. And we got a 666 1 minute as well here. And maybe we get out a little bit ahead of time on that one, but no big deal. I was hoping for more of a bigger fishing order. I don't think we'll get it, but we'll get the long pretty easily here. So no big deal. So let's see her workout here this morning. Bright and early, 4:22 a.m. Central. As we're always up nice and early here. We got some room to volume weighted average price here as well, but she's going to squeeze back up, move up to these highs. We don't know how fast it's going to go, so I don't want to go, excuse me, and drag the video on out. But for this live trade recording, what do we got? Just a couple of minutes right now. This might take a little bit of consolidation time. So what we do is I usually end the video off the trade plan, and we'll come back for our fill. So we're going to be riding the 10 SMA up after the recovery price action. We had one hard open close looper right there, and now we just got to maintain the 10, and we'll squeeze up to target, and I'll fire the recording back up in a second, show you the target fill, and we'll go from there. All right, guys, a few little momentum clicks back in. We're coming to the target, but as we discussed, that 666 static might be a little bit, but knowing NQ and NQ's personality, she usually likes to snap through it. Hit some targets right before that 20,750 as mentioned, and we should be good to go. So we did get a little bit of these highs, and if it needs one more support sequence back, we already have a 1 minute on that 100 EMA tag. The micro price action, which is good. But we should get a new candle pop here soon. We got a brand new 5-minute candle right now, and we're about a minute into that. So this was the start of the new 5-minute candle. What usually happens, we get that nice little push. We get another higher high, comes back down, has to delete a couple of those lows, and then the next cycle up. It's just price actioning exactly as it should. So now, anything above that 100 EMA, which is in the green here, really nice looping base support. So again, we're back over that 10 SMA. We got the loop, we got the progression, and again, this is a little choppier than most. It's very early, so the volume's a little lower, so you're not going to see absolute perfect trend off the 10 SMA, but per our how to trade with the moving averages scalp system, this is exactly what we needed to see. So we waited for the push over, waited for the confirmation on the mini loop, come back over. We have a target set in mind. Exactly what we discussed on how to use the moving averages to do these fun little trades. So we're coming up a little bit closer. We got the new high in sequence, right? So again, fresh low, loop higher low, another high. So of course we got to come back down, and then one more little sequence. That'll be our 3 up. So we got 1, 2, and our third leg is what we're waiting for right now off this higher low. Nice little gap right there. So that'll pop back up here shortly. If it does come down a little bit, I'm actually going to add to this trade because of that gap now. So we got a fresh 1 minute gap. And those are always lovely to see. There's that 100 EMA. See if we can get a couple more pennies out of her. Yeah, insta-fill. So those gaps love to magnet. Tried and true. So no big deal. Again, now just riding that 10 SMA up and up, holding, looping, back testing. And again, that third little push back up is where you want to be. So we'll get that here momentarily. As she starts cooking to the upside here. Shied away. We hit that VWAP. It's a pretty good rejection point too. It's not on the chart here, but we got some thinkorswim VWAPs. We don't trust too much off the trading view. These indicators actually never line up with anything correctly. So we use them as a general area. You always want to use thinkorswim that has real data, real decent data instead of trading view. They don't line up at all. So this will be another consolidation point right on the 200 SMA, which again, you can't see right here on these charts, because again, I don't carry too much indicators on the top stack X or anything trading view related. These indicators just do not work. So they are always way off of true data. So you never want to put too much weight into those. So no hit on that 666 yet. 20,745.12. Actually pretty close today. It's within 2 cents. A lot of the times those are way farther off, but again, low volume, very early morning, so on and so forth. We don't have progression of resistance impulse to 20,766. There's like another 20 points. There's another little pop into sequence highs again. We're just utilizing my moving average system where it rides the moving averages. It pops over. Just watch our video. Rides, holds, loops, back test on 100 EMA. And like we said, a 3 up is what we're going to want to see here as she starts cooking. So just coming to our fill right here, just sub 20,750. Needs one more little impulse move back up. And again, we should hit some temporary support. Resistance right at 666. And a lot of the times, NQ's personality, since we know this thing loves to slip, and there's a great example of the slip right there, where something will start to try and hold a support base like it did down here, slips into a fresh low. You'll find a resistance point like a 666 here, and it'll push, and generally you'll think of ES where it usually hits a point of interest, rejects, and has a good metric. NQ won't do that. It'll snap through, fill these orders, and then it'll come back down because NQ loves to push past targets. That's why you always want to target past these targets, and you always want to be very, very, very careful of where your entries and exits are in NQ because they love to slip past. So again, it wouldn't have a reaction point exactly at the 666, so it's not going to come up, just have the easiest little 666 tag and then, oh, right back down, right to the penny. No, NQ has to chop these zones. You can see that at the 10 SMA right here. 100 EMA came below, came below, came below on a fresh low. You can see that in sequence, right? So low, higher low, lower low. It loves to slip past those marks, and NQ is really good at eating those stop losses of people that, for whatever reason, they'll put it at fresh lows. They'll try to get in on momentum, and they'll be walking it up. They'll say a support right here, a support right here, and they're like, okay, I'm gonna stop out at equal lows, and then that's what happens. It comes up, they hit their lows. They enter into a higher low, higher high. They're like, oh, we're good to go in the higher high. Fresh low. They put their stop at equal lows for whatever reason. And then they get eaten up, and then up we go. And same with resistance. If you came into the 666 and you wanted a first tag or a scalp short, right? It would come back in your face by hitting into the 666, rejecting momentarily on the new candle, blowing past your short entry and then pushing you back out. And again, that becomes a very targetable sequence for us, as I'm very used to NQ. I know its personality very well. So we got one of the fills there, as you see, brings us to tiny wins for the day, as these are the itty bitty express accounts. I think we got 4 mirrored right now. Yeah, something like that. So, like little $140 wins, and these accounts are tiny, as you can see down there, 2,500, 1,700, 1,500. So we just started these baby ones, and a lot of the time, especially in pre, use the micros, and then we get to the bigger ones where there's fun volatility to scalp, because these trades are a little slower. You could use whatever you're comfortable with, but if I'm getting my feet wet for the first trade of the day, my eyes are tired, we're just getting into the day, we use the micros. So we'll wait for one more little pushback up here. You'll see this 20,748.50 fill. Got a little bit of reversal on the VIX there. We had a pretty big pump yesterday, and we kind of know what's happening for today as well. So last two, just waiting on the fill. We get it pressed up here. But yeah, that's a mini lesson there on how we use those moving average. Again, you can check out the YouTube if you're interested in watching how we play those momentum trades. Again, we're coming back down, a little bit of that range 10 SMA. Finding some fun support there. And then one more little fresh high magnet to that half whole dollar is what you're going to see. So, yeah, now that being said, that's going to conclude our scalp. Hopefully we get our little pressure high here. And if not, if you're not comfortable with waiting and you don't want to take, you're within a point of profit. You see me get out early all the time. There's the pop we were talking about. Comes up, scooches my order, boom, boom, right before 20,750. And we got like $200 on the day or something like that. Yeah, 202. So not a bad first little scalp trade momentum. That's an example of the live trading of the moving averages system. So tune in for the next.